What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at your lives again through the power of the internet. And it is Pride Month. And I thought I would ramble a little bit here. I'm not going to do a lot of heavy editing, maybe a little bit. But I just want to talk about Pride Month because I feel like it's really important. It's certainly important to me. I do know that some of the things I'm going to say in this video are going to really upset some people. But that's okay because it's my feelings, it's my opinions. And if you don't like it, that's okay. If Dave Chappelle can say what he says, if that Kendrick Lamar guy can say what he says, I can say what I say. And I'm going to. Bear with me. I am an old man. I am turning 48 in about 45 days. And on top of that, I was born in 1974, and the world has changed a lot since 1974. And because I'm so old, and because I was raised in a completely, entirely different environment, I don't get a lot of the LGBTQ stuff. When I have a trans friend, I have several trans friends. Everybody knows Swift, for example. It's confusing to me. I don't really understand it. And it weirds me out a little bit, too, sometimes when I'm around a trans person that I used to know before they transitioned. Like, I don't know, my old stupid monkey brain just has a lot of problems with it, honestly. I guess it's just because I'm old. But you know what? In the case of my friend Swift, she's happier. And I like her happy. You know, I had a conversation with her once, and I knew that she was having problems thinking about deleting herself. And she went as far as to say that, you know, if she had not transitioned, she probably wouldn't be here anymore. And I told her I'd much rather have an alive Emily than a dead Jeff. I'm so happy she's still here. And you know what? I've talked to her almost every day in text since she transitioned, and she's so much happier for it. And you know what? Her career's doing really well, too. Like, I'm really surprised. She got like 2 million views on a Facebook video the other day. I can't remember the last time I got 2 million views on anything. But I live my life on a philosophy that I don't know that everybody agrees with. I think it is very libertarian in nature, though I do feel like I lean more left. But if you can live your life however you want to live it, I don't care. You want to transition, you want to take up skydiving, you want to get extremely obese, you want to pump out a bunch of children and teach them only French because you think it's funny. Like, I don't care. Are you doing damage to me? Are you hurting me? No? Then I probably don't care that much. Are you hurting somebody I love that I know? No? Then I probably care very little. Are you only hurting yourself? Are you not hurting strangers? Then I don't give a shit at all. If you're not hurting people, you're only hurting yourself. You do you. You live your life the way you want to, positively, negatively. I don't give a shit. That's your right. You have every right to fuck up as often as I have, or make yourself happy, or do whatever it is you feel like your brain tells you to do. Why am I judge and jury and executioner? I'm not Christian anymore, but I was raised Christian, and in the Christian philosophy, like, you leave the judgment between them and God. Not you and him and God. You're not involved in their lives. Why would you be? One of the things I've always believed is that it's not a choice, right? I can't choose my sexuality. They can't choose their sexuality. And one of the reasons I believe that is because there's a kid from a neighboring school who is friends with my brother's. My brother had a mutual friend, and he was just as gay as they come. Like, we all knew he was gay. I was 8 years old. This kid was like 7. And we all knew he was gay. We barely knew what gay meant. But yeah, he turned out to be very, very gay. And lived a very prideful gay life. And I'm just so happy for that kid. There's another kid in our high school that tried to stay closeted. And he even had like a beard, had a girlfriend throughout high school. We all knew. We were all pretty certain about it. Nobody talked about it. Nobody made jokes about it. Just let him live his life, you know. But turned out, yeah, he was very, very gay. Of the 3 people I know who transitioned, I never had any clue before they transitioned. I just knew that they were extremely unhappy people before they transitioned. And once they finally did, they weren't necessarily happy, but they were happier, right? And that's great. I mean, I think Swift is actually very happy. I'm so happy for Emily, but some of them were just as miserable as the rest of us, but they were less miserable than they were before, and that's a huge improvement. So I'm all for that. Because I was raised in a completely different time, because I was raised in a completely different era, I said some really dumb stuff about the LGBTQ in my life. I meant well, my philosophy allows me to mean well. I want everybody to live their best life however they want to live it, right? But I said some stuff that was taken either very poorly, even though it was not meant that way, or I've said things that actually were just very stupid. And on top of that, I made a lot of LGBTQ jokes in my life. I'm trying now to not do that, not out of fear, not out of upsetting anybody, not out of hurting anybody, just as a matter of like, I don't feel comfortable doing it. I talked about that on Twitter. It upset a lot of people. But yeah, I'm trying not to make LGBTQ jokes because I personally just prefer not to. I have the right to do it. It's okay to make those types of jokes. You can make those jokes. Dave Chappelle, whoever, they can make all the jokes they want. I don't care. Right? I'll listen to them. I'll watch it. I don't give a shit. But I personally, because of my history, because of my past, which I'm going to explain in this video, and also because I'm just a dumb old man, I think I want to stop making those types of jokes. But truth be told, I feel like as I've tried to be supportive, as I've paid my dues to like the human rights campaign and stuff like that, I still feel like I've done a lot of damage. And I kind of regret it. But hey, at least I didn't mean to. There's a lot of people out there who mean to. This man here is Devin Center, and he was arrested in that whole Patriot Front thing up in Idaho. I know a lot of people have seen him say, oh, it's just the FBI, it was organized, it was whatever. I know people that know this guy. He does not work for the FBI. This guy lives in my hometown. He was one of the people that got arrested with plans to do something, potentially harm. I mean, one of them was carrying tear gas, and got charged with conspiracy. And it just sucks. It just sucks that this guy's from my town. It just sucks. And right now we see a lot of politicians running on the platform of being anti-LGBTQ. I never thought I'd live to see the day. We're seeing men like this guy from my hometown who are voting for those people and then acting out against the LGBTQ during Pride parades and Pride Month. And I feel like we've regressed. Because I know there's a lot of people out there who believe that being visibly queer is harmful. I've been around queer people my whole life. My friend Matt, my friend Rocky. So many people. What harm have they done? You know, I was hanging out with another gay kid when I was 8 and he was 7. What harm have they done? I cannot comprehend or understand that. In a video I shared on Twitter earlier, there's a pastor saying that they're grooming kids. They're grooming kids by reading storybooks to them in libraries, coming out as gay in classrooms. That's not grooming. You are really stretching the definition of what grooming is there. Being visibly queer, teaching children to accept people who are different from them, allowing kids to come out in a safe environment if they choose to do so. None of that's grooming. Genuinely not. You know, somebody on Twitter posted a photo of kids at a drag show. I've been to a bunch of drag shows. Dixon Street Theater, used to love to go there. Ron's Hair Club, used to love to go there. My friends drug me there all the time. Great shows, hilarious, fun to watch, a lot of talent. And I don't, if your parents choose to take you there, what's the problem? When I was a kid, we went to Silver Dollar City in what is now Dollywood in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And they were doing like a burlesque show. And one of the girls had, you know, one of those little cloth things, what are they called? Garnets, I don't know, on her leg. And she walked up to me at like 8, 9, 10 years old, I don't know, and put the leg in front of me and asked me to slide it off of her. And there she is in her underwear doing dances with big old tits. And like, my parents took me to that, and some people might object to that. My parents didn't object to that. Who cares? Who cares? My parents let me watch Cinemax when I was 13. Who cares? I don't see the problem. Now, if you let them watch a show about gay people, if you take them to a gay burlesque show, who cares? It's your child. It's your choice. That's up to you. You're not harming anybody. No more harm that was done to me than when I saw a burlesque show at Silver Dollar City. So who gives a shit? It's so weird to me. And obviously there's always going to be outliers, right? There's going to be that one gay guy who does something terrible to the kids in your neighborhood. There's going to be that one drag queen who exposes themselves in a Denny's parking lot. That's going to be a thing that happens, but that doesn't mean that the, 10, 12% of the population that's LGBTQ is bad, right? There's plenty of straight people who do bad shit to kids. Are we gonna run against a platform against straight people because there's plenty of straight people who do terrible shit to kids? That's weird, man. That would be fucking weird. You know? Fuck off with that. My empathy allows me to say that as a straight man, if I was accused of every bad thing a straight man did, I'd be pissed off. So for my LGBTQ followers, if you're getting accused of every horrible thing like an LGBTQ person does, I bet you're pissed off. You should be pissed off. You should show up to the polls. You should vote these fuckers out. I definitely will if I can. I think the thing that's bothering me the most this Pride Month is seeing these clips from preachers and pastors preaching hate. And certainly it's not every preacher. It's not every pastor. It's not even a majority of them, obviously. But there are a few. And they're saying all of this insane shit. Like, aren't you the people... Christ befriended Mary Magdalene. Christ befriended lepers. Christ washed the feet of whores. What are you doing? Aren't you supposed to be Christ-like? Didn't he say, like, he who is without sin cast the first stone? Haven't you sinned? Haven't you fucked up? If you have, why are you judging other people? And again, when they do harm, obviously we have to judge other people. Obviously, when somebody's actually doing harm. But most LGBTQ people are just living their fucking lives, man. Let them live their lives. I can't understand it. Insane to me. If you're a Christian, be Christ-like. And Christ loved everybody. Love. It's the entire crux of the religion. And I know a lot of the Christians that are watching this are like, yes, obviously, that's what I do every day. Boogie, great. Love you, man. Love you right back. Do the thing. Be Christ-like. Love. These preachers that preach the opposite of that, there's a special place in hell for them. Guaranteed. So this Pride Month, I've decided to, some people call it a virtue signaling. Fine, let's call it that. But this Pride Month, I'm making an effort to, moving forward, make less jokes at the expense of the LGBTQ. I think it's okay. I think you can make as many jokes as you want. You can make trans jokes, gay jokes, queer jokes, whatever. I don't care. I probably will screw up and do it from time to time, but I'm going to try to do it less and maybe try to do it not at all. Out of personal preference. Maybe it'll make an LGBTQ member of my community feel better, feel safer here. Awesome if it does. But it's more a matter of personal preference. I'm not afraid to do it. I'm not afraid to consume that type of content. I just don't want to anymore. Not when there's preachers out there preaching hate. Not when there's politicians running on a platform of hate. I just not feeling comfortable to do it. And secondly, I'm just going to do more to make LGBTQ feel more comfortable in this community. Because you're part of it. And I want the people in my community to embrace everybody of every different walk of life. Short or tall, fat or skinny, doesn't matter. Black or white, gay, straight, anything. I don't care. I don't care. If you aren't hurting somebody else, you're welcome to be a member of this community. You always will be. Just don't hurt other people. Simple fucking rule. Most people follow it. So thank you. Thank you for being part of my community. If you can just tolerate other people, as long as they're not hurting other people. And when you find somebody hurting somebody else, you can fucking hurt them all you want. Destroy them. I don't care. I will. I literally have a felony charge for it. So happy Pride Month to the gay people, the straight people, everybody else. If you're one of those gay people like, where's straight month? Don't worry. It's also straight month. You're allowed to be straight as you want, visibly straight as you want. Celebrate that in the comment section. Celebrate being LGBTQ. Celebrate everything. Just celebrate being you. Because there's only one you. And I love you. Unless you're hurting other people. But if you're not, I love you. Just the way you are. And I say that every video, but I mean it. Let me end with that. Happy Pride Month. Take care of yourself. Be safe. Don't let the world get you down. As always, guys, thanks for watching. I love you very much. And I'll speak with you again